a blind piano player, wrestler, long-distance runner, and a creative spirit whose talents have taken her to the stage and into galleries and exhibitions across the U.S., are here to tell their story of their unique and incredible journey together. Welcome to the Nancy and Mike Show. Nancy and Mike will engage you with some of the most unimaginable and heartwarming stories of their extraordinary life. So please welcome your hosts, Nancy and Mike.
Hi, my name is Mike Zorich.
And this is Nancy Novo.
We are coming to you live, broadcasting from YouTube in Florida. God inspired. This is the Nancy and Mike Show. Today's date is July 18th, 2026.
Yep.
And this is show number 51. I can't believe we're going into our first year ending on this channel. And like I mentioned last week, we had July 4th off, and all the rest of the weeks we worked, which I like it that way.
Yes.
But Christmas and New Year's will be Saturdays this year.
Oh.
And we might lose a couple with that too.
Probably.
Who knows?
Yep.
Anyway, and who knows if we're still going next year at this time, we should be over 100.
Cool.
But anyway.
Yep.
One thing I did mention last week, today, I was going to talk about what's wrong with baseball.
Yeah.
And first of all, for those who listen to it, Donald Trump gave a wonderful speech on Thursday night.
Yes.
And
we were able to hear it live.
Yeah, we heard it on Fox. And the other three coward networks, NBC, ABC, and CBS, didn't televise it because they do not want people to know the truth. It's plain and simple. And people are smart enough to see this. It was about election fraud and
yeah.
Of course, we all know 2020 was a rigged election.
Yeah, Mike is the numbers guy, and he was able to see it. We were in California. He was able to see it.
I saw it. And the reason why I saw it is because what happened was the Democrats planned how many states they were going to win. And things weren't going according to form.
Right.
They were starting to get in trouble with Michigan and Georgia, and I think Wisconsin might have been one. But what happened? Of course, we were living in California, and this is how I figured it out.
Yes. Because we saw the later results because we were awake.
Yeah, we saw, and well, actually what happened, all the counting stopped. The counting stopped for 2 hours. That's never happened before or since.
That's shows hanky panky.
Yes. And China was involved. They got 23,000 votes in Pennsylvania from Chinese suitcases.
Yep.
And there was a lot of hanky panky in Michigan. But anyway, I hope that's not the subject of today, but I hope that something is done to the networks for refusing to televise a president's speech.
Yeah.
I don't know what Trump could do about it, but they got good lawyers, and I hope they make the right decision.
There should be some accountability.
And this is a problem that we've been facing for the last couple of years. the Nazis are never held accountable for anything. And you see stuff on Facebook about you support such and such. And of course, we answer yes. And after that, it goes away. There's never any.
What's the result?
It just there is no results.
Yeah.
So they're just looking for your opinion, even though they know they're not going to do anything. They're afraid of the Nazis.
Hmm.
But anyway,
Okay.
that's not the subject matter for today.
Baseball.
Baseball is. What's wrong with baseball? Baseball, of all the sports, is the worst run. And
Because of the agents?
no, because of the union. And what the deal is, actually, all sports are owned by the union. The best one is the National Football League. It's got some problems, yes. But the worst is baseball. Now, baseball is the only sport that has no salary cap. And it's like an election not having voter ID. The reason for no salary cap is so the top guys could cheat. And this is the sole purpose of why the union is against the salary cap. The union's for the cheaters. And what we need is a maximum and a minimum salary cap. Now,
Yeah, I think we have to underline minimum because the people who are dumping players, they should be have accountability for that.
yeah, there should be consequences for that. And you're already starting to hear about the August 3rd trade deadlines. And
Who's the dumpers and who's the buyers?
yeah, the buyers are the thieves and the sellers are the dumpers.
Yeah, they don't want to pay these guys, so
They don't want
should
to,
buy.
they're what these trades turn out to be for the teams that are out of it is salary dumps. That's
Mhm.
what it is.
Yeah,
Now, how do we resolve this?
and for the poor small markets, they just can't pay this big, and they can't do free agency because they don't have those big bucks.
Well, you take a guy like Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah. Ooh.
Now, a lot of people think he's the best player in baseball.
The pitcher and he's a home run
He's
hitter.
he does everything. He pitches, he hits. I don't know if he plays any defense. I don't think he does.
No, we don't
I
watch
think
him.
when he hits, he's a designated hitter,
Oh, okay.
which is legitimate. I always thought of the designated hitter as something we've been needing for
Yes,
years.
you have for years.
Now, here's the deal with him.
Okay.
He came up with the Angels. Now, the Angels had him until his contract ran out. Now, here you got a great guy like Shohei Ohtani. He's a free agent. Now, a free agency should give you choices of where you could play. Shouldn't it? You're a free agent. You should be able to go where you want to go. You should have choices of who or where you could play. Do you know how many choices Ohtani had?
No,
One.
Dodgers.
Yes. And so you really don't have free agency. There was only one place that he could have gone. And if you have and what they did with baseball, they had what was known as a luxury tax. What the luxury tax was supposed to do, it was supposed to in uh logically it was supposed to keep salaries down. But people just paid the tax.
So it's not doing its job.
It's not doing its job. And maybe when they put in the luxury tax, they didn't know that the luxury tax would not do the job because it's almost like you're circumventing it.
Yeah.
You're paying it,
Okay, we'll
and
pay. Big
we'll
deal.
pay, big deal. We can afford to pay.
Hmm.
So now
Now the little guys, they can't afford to pay.
they can't pay it. One team that's like a sinking Titanic now is the San Diego Padres. What are they going to do?
They got a lot of expensive players.
They got some expensive players, and they can't pay any new players because they have a few that are too expensive, like Manny Machado, Fernando Tatis. Uh, those two guys cost a ton, and Xander Bogaerts. They got long contracts, and a long contract is good because it gives you stability.
Yeah.
But
But
I think
they're getting older.
I think they overdid it on these players because when their contracts run out, they're going to be probably in their mid 40s, which I think is too long a contract. So they're trying to trade Bogarts, but Bogarts is in the twilight of his career.
Yeah.
What are you going to get for him? You're going to get nothing for him if anybody trades him. They were talking about trading him to the Red Sox, but I don't think the Red Sox are going to fall for it.
Good.
But anyway, talking about the Red Sox,
Yeah.
they won 11 straight,
I can't believe
and
it.
I have an apology to make because I thought they were going to chicken out yesterday.
Yes, you did.
And I said, if Boston plays one or two of those games against Tampa Bay, and that's going to be amazing. Well, they played a doubleheader yesterday, and I thought they should have made up the game when they had a chance. They waited till yesterday, and they won it. So I guess my time that they should have made it up, they probably would have lost it. And they got this guy named Bennett. I don't know where he came from. He's a pitcher.
Uh-huh. He's doing good?
And he's doing great. And they got Sonny Gray. And they got two other guys, Connor Early. He's hurt. And Crochet is hurt.
Oh, I like Crochet.
Now, if those guys ever come back, they're going to have a good foursome to deal with.
I saw yesterday at the bottom of the screen they got somebody named Zach, but it started with an S. I couldn't finish reading it. Went away.
Yeah, I don't know. It's racking my brain yesterday. Who it could have been?
Little teaser.
I don't know who Zach is, or
Yeah. Sorry. I shouldn't have mentioned it.
well, I know a nice guy named Zach, but I know it wasn't him.
No, so it starts with an S. That's all I know.
Anyway, anyway, what else are we gonna do with baseball? It needs a salary cap. We got to take ownership away from the union.
What does that mean? Oh, the unions own the game.
The
Okay.
union owns the game.
It's understood.
And put it in the hands of the owners. Now, what else can we do? We could take 1 year off of free agency.
Uh-huh.
So instead of 6 years, you could become a free agent after 5 years. If you're going to have a salary cap, we got to give the union some compensation,
Yeah.
some kind of break.
It has
We
to
got
be
to work together
back
so
and
that
forth, right?
both teams benefit. We could get rid of the luxury tax because the salary cap takes its place. We're going to a break. This is a Nancy and Mike show.
We'll be right back.
Mike Zorich, a 3-time California state champion in Greco-Roman wrestling at 114 pounds. Mike, blind since birth, was born in Hartford, Connecticut. He was a 6-time national placer, including 2 seconds, 2/3, and 2/4. He also won the Veterans Folk-Style Wrestling twice at 152 pounds. In all these tournaments, he was the only blind competitor. Nancy Zorick, a creative spirit whose talents have taken her to the stage and into galleries and exhibitions in several states. Her father, a commercial artist who shared his instruments with his daughter and helped her fine-tune her natural abilities, influenced her decision to follow in his footsteps. Ms. Zorick has enjoyed a fruitful career doing what she loves. Listen Saturday mornings at 12 Eastern for the Nancy and Mike Show for heartwarming stories and interesting talk.
Are you struggling to care for elderly parents or a spouse? Do you wonder if being a caregiver is making you sick? Are you worried about taking time off work to care for elderly parents and balance work, life, and caregiving? Has caregiving become exhausting and emotionally draining? Are you an aging adult who wants to remain independent, but you're not sure how? I'm Pamela D. Wilson. Join me for the Caring Generation radio show for caregivers and aging adults, Wednesday evenings, 6 Pacific, 7 Mountain, 8 Central, and 9 Eastern, where I answer these questions and share tips for managing stress, family relationships, health, well-being, and more. Podcasts and transcripts of the Caring Generation are on my website, PamelaDWilson.com, plus my caregiving library, online caregiver support programs, and programs for corporations interested in supporting working caregivers. Help, hope, and support for caregivers is here on the Caring Generation and PamelaDWilson.com.
Hi, my name is Mike Zorick.
And this is Nancy Noble.
We are coming to you live, broadcasting from YouTube in Florida. This is the Nancy and Mike Show. And I gave all the early information, but I'm talking about baseball.
Yes.
Uh,
And you want the best for baseball.
I do. I want the
because
best
you
for
really
baseball.
love the game.
In the first place, I was kind of bored this week without baseball.
Yeah.
And
little withdrawal here.
yeah, a big withdrawal mainly. I believe that all All-Star games should be abolished because you look at one of the things you see every year if you follow baseball. If you follow baseball, you know this. There are a lot of players who are making excuses so that they don't have to participate in the All-Star game. Now, they don't want to take a chance on getting hurt. One of the worst injuries I ever saw in an All-Star game was I believe it was 1971. And there was a plate-to-plate. Ray Fosse was the catcher for the American League, and I think it was Pete Rose that ran into him, and Fosse was seriously injured. And anyway, the bottom line is nobody wants to get hurt. They want time off to see their families, and they don't want to play in a game that's really nothing more than an exhibition game. They want to
Get serious.
And help their present teams.
Yeah.
Especially if you got a shot at making the playoffs.
Right.
So there's an angle to this here. Now, the next topic of baseball is the only one who talks like I talk, if you remember him. He was a key for the 1967 Red Sox when they won the pennant.
Who's that?
Ken Harrelson.
Oh, that funny guy?
That funny guy who ended up announcing for the White Sox.
He was fun.
And he was a great announcer. He was different, but he was funny. And one of the things I remember him in the 80s, and when the guy struck out, Harrelson would say, "He gone."
Yep, with enthusiasm.
Yeah, especially if it was a guy from the other team
Oh, yeah.
that struck out, not a White Sox guy.
Yeah.
Well, Harrelson, one of the things his that was a problem for him, and it's not a problem for him. It's a problem for the almost, I won't say all the major leagues, for the bad weather teams.
Oh, yeah, because of canceling games.
Yeah, it's sheer stupidity. And remember when Peter Uberoff was a commissioner in
I sure do.
1984,
Yep.
and one of the first things he wanted to do was put lights in Wrigley Field, Chicago.
Yeah, it was a big deal.
And it was a big deal because the World Series is played at night. And he told the Cubs, if you don't put lights in, you won't play any home games in the playoffs. So they did it. He imposed consequences, and they did it. Now, here's my deal. Stadiums should have retractable roofs. Well, why do we need retractable roofs? These rain delays are sheer stupidity. Rain delays, snow delays, they don't help the players.
No.
This is one thing the
And good
union
for the fan too.
this is one thing the union should be fighting for. And I have a solution that if you don't play all your games, the home team of the teams that don't play their games, that comes out of their paycheck. Because why are we
Or make up the games where there is a roof.
Yeah, could do that too. You could make a requirement that everybody has to play all their games. In the National Football League, you have an 18-game schedule, a 17-game schedule. In the National Hockey League, everybody plays all their games. Now, I remember, I'm going to tell you, when I was in the 7th grade, this is something that I thought would never happen to me, but it did. It was Memorial Day weekend. And on Memorial Day, Boston and the Yankees were playing in Boston. The weather wasn't bad that day. But during those days, in the 1960s, that was 1961. That was the first year of the expansion Mets, by the way. And we got there, and games were starting. They were not starting at 6:30 like they do today. They started at 8 o'clock. Too late.
Yeah.
So we got there and it started to rain. And it was cold. It was cold rain. And we were sitting in the stands and I thought, my brother was there, my parents were there. Boy, how foolish can you get sitting through this? But you can't get your money back if the game is played. So that's why you sit there. The game started around 10 o'clock. I think Boston lost.
Oh,
I
my
don't even
goodness.
remember the result. We had school the next day. Me and my brother had school the next day.
And you had to drive all the way from, well, your dad drove all the way to Connecticut.
I know.
That's a long ride.
We didn't get home till like 3 in the morning. And then you got to get up at 7 to go to school the next day.
Not good.
And the reason why I remember was 1961 is I remember in the 7th grade, the expansion Mets. I remember our glee club was singing the thing called The Lonesome Train, which was about Abraham Lincoln. It was amazingly fantastic. And I eventually got a tape of some of it.
Yeah, I know.
And some of the things I remember about that year, and at the time, I was working with a guy named George Sulis. He was my piano teacher, and I was working on a piece by Haydn called The Teacher and the Student.
Oh.
Now, all this happened when I was in the 7th grade. So I remember all this. That's how I remember this Memorial Day game. And it's stupid because you're sitting the fans out there, and it's terrible, terrible system for the fans. And anyway, we need to fix that. And if we do fix that, you could even do this. Have the All-Star game after the playoffs, after the NL and AL championship series, like football does.
It's better timing.
And you have the All-Star game, but the two teams in the World Series can't compete
Right.
in the All-Star game.
Absolutely.
That's what the National Football League
That
does.
makes sense.
That's a better system. I don't like All-Star game. I think they should all be abolished. But if you're going to do it, that's the way to do it.
Better timing.
And if somebody gets hurt, it's not going to affect their season. Not that you want anybody to get hurt.
But come on.
Now, I'm not going to elaborate too much more on this because I got another topic to discuss.
Okay.
And it is, what do you see now? You see, the wicked people are getting away with everything, and we have godly friends who are sick, who may die. What's going on? And the logical question you would ask, where is God? I'm going into religion. Now, here's when you ask that question. When the wicked are getting away with everything and the good people are suffering, then you ask where God is. Well, I tell you, Nancy is going to talk about, when she comes up, the devil, Satan, his greatest victory since the sins of Adam and Eve. And it's infallible. I don't care if you're an atheist or if you're a God loving Christian or who you are, it's very obvious that this is an act of Satanism. Now, here's the deal. I was used to listen to this guy. He was a great preacher. He's had a half-hour show. And one of his subjects was, what does God hate? And he mentioned two things: idolatry and technology. Now, something else. I remember this girl who came over. We were had a Bible study with her, and she said, today we're going to talk about what God hates. And her deal was he hates divorce. Now, according to these two people, very intelligent people, by the
Yes.
way, God hates divorce, idolatry, and technology. And this divorce thing came, she came over the day after our divorce
I know.
was finalized. What are the odds of that?
I know.
And, but the way I look at it is God dislikes anytime you disobey one of the 10 commandments. So after,
And when you put something ahead of him.
yeah, well, that's thou shalt not have worship any other gods, is one of the 10 commandments.
Definitely.
So Nancy's going to do her wonderful thing when we come back, and I'm going to have some comments on it. We're going to a break. This is a Nancy and Mike show.
We'll be right back.
Author, radio show host and coach John M. Hawkins reveals strategies to help gain perspective, build confidence, find clarity, achieve goals. John M. Hawkins' new book, Coached to Greatness: Unlock Your Full Potential with Limitless Growth, published by iUniverse. Hawkins reveals strategies to help readers accomplish more. He believes the book can coach them to greatness. Hawkins says that the best athletes get to the top of their sport with the help of coaches, mentors, and others. He shares guidance that helps readers reflect on what motivates them, rediscover and assess their core values, philosophies, and competencies, find settings that allow them to be the most productive, and track their progress towards accomplishing goals. What if there were a super tiny device that could diagnose the brain and is smaller than a single human hair? What if you could see inside the brain to help an epilepsy patient during surgery or to help the fight against Parkinson's disease? Dr. Patricia Broderick is proud to announce the Broderick Probe, a biomedical and electronic breakthrough. Imagine a probe to help with the understanding and potential cure of brain-related diseases. To learn more, listen live to the Easy Sense radio show with host Dr. Broderick. And to help support the Broderick Foundation, please go to EasySense.com and learn how, with your help, we can fight these horrific brain disorders. That's EasySense.com to learn more and help support the Broderick Foundation.
Hi, my name is Mike Zorich.
And this is Nancy Noble.
We are coming to you live, broadcasting from YouTube in Florida. And I'm sorry I got a little messed up here, but one of the things I forgot to say about baseball, before Nancy shows up,
Okay.
one of the things that I've always been in favor of is the 8-team playoff in each league.
Right?
Now, if you have 8 teams, you got a full bracket. 6 is not enough. The NBA has 10. That's too many. You got 10 in each league. And that's too many. 8 is the right number. So if you have the All-Star game and you have retractable roofs, what you're going to actually have, that's not going to extend the playoffs to be longer, but there'll be more games going on in the first round. You may have 8 games in one day because you got 16 teams, 8 in the American League, 8 in the National League. But you've got to have retractable roofs. And it's good for the fans, it's good for the players, and players will actually have their careers extended by having this playoff format.
Be healthier.
It'd be healthier. Now, Nancy's going to do her wonderful thing, and then I will comment on what she
Sure.
does.
Okay. This is from the little magazine we read every morning called Mornings with Jesus. Okay. So this is written by Cynthia Ruchti. And it touched Mike very much. Okay.
I saw the truth of it.
Okay, so she says, when I first witnessed the wonders of touchlessness, a touchless car wash, it seemed kind of like a good idea. Then touchlessness crept into other areas in life. Touchlessness pizza delivery, faucets, or visits with a doctor, remote control, or a voice-activated page turning. It seems as if the consuming drive is toward a completely touchless society. I wondered what Jesus would think of that. So much of his ministry involved touch.
I know exactly what he thought of that.
Touching 2 blind men's eyes, touching a sick child, touching those whom the cultures demand not to be touched. lepers, Samaritans, the unbelieving. Am I losing touch with the purpose of touch? If
Yep.
I opt for and am satisfied with virtual only visits with the grandchild instead of being present face to face, eyeball to eyeball, an aging little cheek with a newborn's little sweet cheek, I've lost so much more than the smells, the textures, the experience. Something important happens inside when I touch the pages of the Bible. I run my finger over the red letters of Jesus speaking. Far beyond virtual, my spirit touches Holy Spirit and the Spirit of Jesus. How could Jesus want anything less of me than to go from that place of peace in God's presence, from in some way touching heaven, to reach out and touch other people in need of encouragement as a reminder of God's love? And all the more so if it isn't in a touchless text message, but a hand on somebody's shoulder, or a warm hug, or a concerned embrace. So that's it. It's a very meaningful thought of the day, and it touched us, right? Whew.
Well, you can see the reality of it.
Yes.
And uh,
Especially with that China virus, when people said you got to keep your distance, you can't hug anybody.
well, let me tell you,
Okay, go ahead.
when the China virus came out, and I saw Fauci's intent, I saw Burke's intents, Burke's the bitch, and Grouchy Fauci. That's what I used to
Yeah,
call him.
you saw it.
The schitzel distancing. I saw it. All right.
Yep. With
Now,
insight from God.
yes. Now, when you look at the overall scheme of things, and you could have your own opinion of what God hates. Like some people would say divorce, some people would say you don't like sin. God doesn't like sin.
No.
Okay, we know this. So that takes care of all of the 10 commandments.
Yes.
So you could say he hates adultery. You could say he hates lying. He hates stealing. He hates it when you worship another god besides him. Uh, uh, I don't have all the 10 commandments memorized, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's common sense.
It's common sense. But when the devil came up with this touchless society, this is what made him less powerful. And
Made who less powerful? Satan?
no, our God. It made
Okay.
Satan more powerful.
Yeah, you kind of
And
right.
so I didn't say it right, but anyway, that's what happened. It was a massive victory for Satan, and a lot of young people fell for it out of curiosity.
Yeah.
Like this girl fell for it.
Yes, she started to think it was interesting, and then she saw,
And then she saw the drawbacks of it. She saw the root of it, and all of a
get
sudden,
to the root of it.
this is not good. Jesus would not want this. She saw that.
Even the Jewish people in Jesus's time, they said you can't touch anyone that has leprosy. Well, he healed them, he touched them. They had all these rules to get that touchless in there, right, Mike?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I didn't explain it as well as Cindy Rutschke explained
No.
it,
Excellent.
but
job.
I did see it.
Yeah, me
And
too.
what I did during the China virus, I deliberately did not social distance with
No,
people.
we didn't.
I hugged people, I shook hands with people, and I went to a doctor's office and they made us sit far
I
apart.
pulled the chairs close.
Yeah. And we got up and we stood up and we had a big long hug.
And when I was in a grocery store, some of the kids I taught art, they came right up and hugged me. And
Yeah.
somebody in our mobile home came right up in front of everybody in line at the check catching place, and he came over and hugged me.
And when I had a birthday party, I told people not to park close because you don't want them to see that you got a party going at your house because
Not at that time.
you don't know who you could trust or who you couldn't trust.
Mhm.
So I told people to not park close to each other.
Well, we
People
moved
who
out
were,
of California during that time.
yeah. And no place was really good at that time, but uh,
Florida was better.
Florida was better than California. In California, you couldn't go to church, but you could riot.
And you had to have a card to show that you took the shots.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you couldn't do this or that. You couldn't go to concerts.
Now, one group that's very good that we hear from on Facebook
On Facebook.
is the refusers.
Yeah.
They are uh, they are better than any medical professionals.
Well, Mike got insight from God that we were not to have those injection shots.
Well, I didn't get insight; it showed up on the computer. The dangers of the shot. One of them it gave people autism.
Yeah, I don't want that.
It may kill you. They didn't know what the effects of the vaccination was, but the Nazi government that we had wanted to control you.
And make you feel guilty. You could be spreading it. So, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, and you may not even know you have it, but you could spread it,
Yeah.
even though there are no visible signs that you have it. And these were the things that the lies that the Nazis were spreading
It was the
from
power control.
China. Yeah, this was in control from China, and I hope they get to the bottom of this because
Me too.
Trump talked about that in his speech about election tampering from China. Now, I don't know if China was guilty or who was guilty, but somebody was when they rigged the 2020 election. We don't know
I
precisely
think it was a combined
who rigged it,
conspiracy.
but we know the 2020 election
Yeah.
was rigged. That's a given.
Yes, we know it.
Even if we don't know all the details of who rigged it, we know that much. But getting back to this thing, I was
Touchless.
so happy that Nancy read that because when you say God hates technology, no, that's part of the touchless society. And I guess the reason he would hate technology is because it became his competition. And we got a lot of stupid young people out there who fell for this crap, and they're so stupid. They're even thinking about voting for communism,
And voting for their own downfall.
voting for their own downfall, because communism cannot. No one has ever seen any evidence of where it works for the people, and these people are going to be disappointed when they get it. But anyway, we're going to our final break. This is the Nancy and Mike show.
We'll be right back.
or a spouse? Do you wonder if being a caregiver is making you sick? Are you worried about taking time off work to care for elderly parents and balance work, life, and caregiving? Has caregiving become exhausting and emotionally draining? Are you an aging adult who wants to remain independent but you're not sure how? I'm Pamela D. Wilson. Join me for the Caring Generation radio show for caregivers and aging adults, Wednesday evenings, 6 Pacific, 7 Mountain, 8 Central, and 9 Eastern, where I answer these questions and share tips for managing stress, family relationships, health, well-being, and more. Podcasts and transcripts of the Caring Generation are on my website, PamelaDWilson.com, plus my caregiving library, online caregiver support programs, and programs for corporations interested in supporting working caregivers. Help, hope, and support for caregivers is here on the Caring Generation and PamelaDWilson.com.
Mike Zorek, a three-time California state champion in Greco-Roman wrestling at 114 pounds. Mike, blind since birth, was born in Hartford, Connecticut. He was a six-time national placer, including 2 seconds, 2/3, and 2/4. He also won the Veterans Folk-Style Wrestling twice at 152 pounds. In all these tournaments, he was the only blind competitor. Nancy Zorek, a creative spirit whose talents have taken her to the stage and into galleries and exhibitions in several states. Her father, a commercial artist who shared his instruments with his daughter and helped her fine-tune her natural abilities, influenced her decision to follow in his footsteps. Ms. Zorek has enjoyed a fruitful career doing what she loves. Listen Saturday mornings at 12 Eastern for the Nancy and Mike Show for heartwarming stories and interesting talk.
Hi, my name is Mike Zorek.
And this is Nancy Noble.
We are coming to you live, broadcasting from YouTube in Florida. This is the Nancy and Mike Show, and I almost forgot where we were broadcasting from. That's a real winner. Now,
I'm always bragging. What a wonderful memory you have.
yeah, well. Anyway, one of the things that happened yesterday, I got a phone call from a close friend.
Oh.
And it was one of the most tragic phone calls I ever got. It was so bad. It wasn't where the guy was mean or anything.
No, he's
It was
a great person.
a wonderful human being, a wonderful friend,
Absolutely.
a wonderful running partner, Carl Allen. I ran over 100 races with him.
Yes.
He was a black guy and a wonderful running partner and a wonderful person. And I'm not going to go into it because we're at the end of the show of how the phone call was. But some of the things he told me, I did not realize. And the deal was, we sent him some photos.
Yeah, he lost the photos that I took of Mike and Carl running in races, and I went to Staples, made copies, and I wrote him a letter, and I put the photos in. He got the letter, no photos. Oh,
Now, what happened to the photos?
it doesn't make sense.
And anyway,
So yesterday I went to Staples, made photos, and next week I'll go to the post office and mail them.
but one thing
I'm gonna tape it shut.
one thing he wanted to do, he said he didn't have our landline phone number. I was going to give it to him to have him write it down.
Yeah, come on. Where's the paper and pencil?
And he said, have Nancy text me. And I said, Nancy doesn't do texting. And I don't know why she doesn't, but I'm glad she doesn't.
I don't, because Mike is blind. He doesn't get involved with that, and I don't think it's right. If Mike doesn't like it, somebody has to stand up for blind people. texting is not good for blind people. And it interrupts. I hear this little bleep. I say, okay, that's nobody that knows us that does that little.
Yeah, because they know us and
Not
they
on
know
texting.
we don't do that. And sometimes we'll get a call. Let me tell you, on our cell phone, you
Mhm.
can't text on the landline,
Right.
but sometimes we'll get a call and we won't recognize the number.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't recognize the number and you don't pick it up. And then shortly after the number calls and you don't pick up, a text message comes.
Yep. Bleep.
So you say, "Oh, good. I'm glad we didn't pick that call up
Yeah.
because."
I'd have to run through the house to go get the cell phone, and by then it's already hung up, and you get a bleep.
And you know that for some reason they know when Nancy's going to the bathroom, so they make sure they don't call unless she's going to the bathroom. It's crazy.
Yeah, and Mike doesn't use my.
And I don't know how to figure her cell phone out. The numbers are too small for me to figure out. I can't feel them. And
The phone we had to get from Mike, we had to get from Vermont Country Store, and it's just the old-fashioned kind where you pick up the receiver and
you
push
push the
buttons
buttons.
that are very big and you can feel far apart.
Yeah. So that's the phone that I use. But you know, we can't call our bank
I know.
from a landline. And there are some calls you can't make from landlines.
I know.
And you could see how Almighty God is
They're trying to push away landlines.
they're
I can
trying
see
to
it.
push everything away that's godly.
Hmm.
And they're succeeding with this. And when we were um, living in California, and we kept getting stuff from Ron DeSantis about how he's against technology and all this, that
Sounded good.
and it sounded good. And of course, when we moved here and we found out, I think the only place there's a 5-star pizza that delivers, and even Long John Silver's, you can't get food to go. You could get it to go, but you have to go there. And they don't have delivery places. They got a lot of delivery places in Connecticut.
But delivery here, you have to go through computer, I think.
Yeah. So you have to go through God, and it's not a good thing. And like the Cindy was saying, and um, that's the problem.
Hmm.
And the way I see it, the problem is getting worse. We got a call. We got a doctor appointment Tuesday, and
It wasn't a real person.
they say
She's,
this is
she's AI.
yeah.
So,
And what if you didn't answer it? Would they still confirm your appointment?
oh, we gotta go. Hey.
Anyway, the show has ended. This has been the Nancy and Mike show,
And
and
take care, guys. Bye.
next week will be our 1-year anniversary.
This has been the Nancy and Mike Show. Tune in each week and become part of the conversation of the amazing journey of Nancy and Mike.